I'm Bella, the Maker Mama boss lady behind Bella's Custom Crochets, and this is episode 23 of my podcast. I'm a crochet designer, and I talk mostly about crocheting and designing here, but there's a little bit of knitting in there as well. And we have a giveaway winner and all sorts of fun content today. I will link everything that I talk about down below. Will be in show notes in my blog, and I'll put the link down in the down bar for you. Everybody always points down there, you know where it is. And yes, everything you need to know about me, where you can find me on social media and whatnot, will be linked down below as well. So let's get into some content. If you're new, welcome, and if you've come back, thank you. That was really high-pitched and squeaky. Getting started is so rough. So rough. Every single time. 23 episodes in. Over a year. So rough. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to announce the giveaway winner later on. But admin-wise, I did want to let you guys know that I did decide to do Vlogmas, so I've been filming this week. It's currently, tomorrow's December 1st, so it's November 30th today, when I'm filming. So I'm going to be doing, I think I'm going to stick to my regular podcasting schedule. This might be my only podcast before Christmas, because I think that calendar's still in November, so who knows. But I think I might squeak in one more podcast, because I usually do them every other week before Christmas. But yeah, as it gets down to Christmas, I don't want to have to worry too much about that. So I'm going to keep doing the podcast because I know not everyone will watch the Vlogmas thing. But I'm not going to be doing daily vlogs. Instead, I'm going to do weekend vlogs. I think I'm going to post them on Sundays. I'll probably stick with my 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because that's what I do for the podcast on Fridays. So you should, in theory, be getting a podcast this Friday. And then if you come back on Sunday, there should be the first of the Vlogmas videos. Probably will be a shorter than a podcast, but a little bit longer than like the daily vlogs, because it's a whole week worth of content, but I don't do too much, so we'll see. I really don't know how long it's going to be. I've been taping little bits and pieces, but all those pieces add up, so never done it before, so it'll be exciting to try it out this year. Give me some grace. I will be learning, but I think it'll be fun, and I've enjoyed watching other people's Vlogmases here and there in the past, and this year I'm going to try and follow along with a couple specific ones as well. So we'll see how that goes. And I hope you join me for those as we get ready. Advent starts tomorrow, the whole Christmas season, and I'm planning on doing them into January. So yeah, we'll see. Vlogmas, join us. And other than that, that's I think all I have for admin. I had said, we'll get to that in a second. What I do have to tell you, this is not a new design. This is my There and Back Again cowl, and it is a bulky, I learned this is called a pidge scarf from Nadir Atani Kalisha on the Quirky Monday craft cast. She designed one and she's like, it's a pidge scarf, and I was like, oh, that's a thing. I've been calling it a cowl this whole time. But There and Back Again cowl, this was one of my patterns from 2018 or 2019, one of my older ones, but it works up really quick, and I've always brought them to markets and they've done really well. And because I was feeling festive, I threw it up on the blog for free last week, so you can find the pattern for this on the blog now for free. So obviously you'll be linked down to my blog below, so if you are interested in making a There and Back Again cowl, they make great gifts and they work up really fast because they're quite thick. Most of my patterns are in lighter weight yarns, so if you need a quick gift and you have a stash of buttons, it's an easy make. So that's my admin-y section. I keep saying, I think I'm going to try and do the podcast in like a more pieced together kind of way, because I realized the last episode you spent 3/4 of it looking at my hair as I was like reaching over here in this basket. Maybe not 3/4, but it was a lot. So I think I'm going to film in sections and cut in between. Let me know if you guys like that any better, or if you like looking at the side of my luscious hair. I watched it back and I was like, I am turned around most of the time or reaching down on the floor or something. I know a lot of people film with like a table in front of them, but I'm sitting in a chair with just a tripod and lights in front of me, and nothing is within reach other than over here. So I have to spin a lot. Also, I'm sitting cross-legged in my rocking, swiveling chair today, so if there's bouncing, there's bouncing. We're just trying new things here as we close out the year. All right, so that was in fact the admin section. I will get to the giveaway closer to the end. For the design section, I had said that the Herrington Marliday scarf, I think at last episode I said, or the cowl, I'm sorry, Herrington Marliday cowl would be out on today, I think I said, the 30th. But I ended up having an event over the weekend and just stuff happened. So, nothing bad. It just didn't get released today. So I am planning on next Monday, which I believe is December 7th. So the best place to find out about pattern releases is to be following over on Instagram. I always kind of hype up to them the week before and post tester pictures and stuff like that. But I will also, if you are subscribed to this channel, I always do a pattern drop video that just talks you through the details of the pattern and what you need and what to expect if you purchase it. And I usually do a discount code as well. So subscribe. But the Herrington Marliday is coming, and the worsted weight will be on the blog for free at some point soon. The pattern's all done and it's ready. I just need to do all of the actually putting it into Ravelry and doing the blog posts and record the pattern drop video. So final details. But what I have finished, it's obviously not ready for you yet, but I finished the design part, at least in yarn. I need to clean it up on paper, but the Hope and a Future shawl wrap. I'm just getting all my names wrong. Hope and a Future wrap, which is really actually a giant scarf, but I like wrap better. I finished yesterday. I was at a Artist Sunday event at my local yarn store. I brought all my hats and cowls and whatnot, and patterns as well, and I was selling there for the day, which was really nice to hang out with the owner, Rachel, kind of all day long, actually all day long, and just chat with somebody who understands yarny things. And she's a crocheter as well, and I know not a lot of yarn stores are super crochet friendly. So she was a crocheter first and then a knitter, so we bond over the crochet, and she's also a military spouse, and my husband was Air Force, so just we had a lot in common, and it was really nice to hang out with her. So I enjoyed that. But during the downtime of waiting for people to come in, because everybody's doing their social distancing thing, I was doing a lot of crocheting. So I finished up this design, and let me get it the right way for you. It has not been blocked yet, and it's going to look much better once it has been, but I think it looks pretty good now, so I'm going to show you. So it's going to block out about 2 inches wider, and you're going to be able to see the lace a lot better. And the color on the camera is going to change a bunch as it tries to adjust to all of this, but this is in collaboration with Megs & Co. yarn. I'll show you the labels in a minute here. And if you want some more details on my inspiration for this design, I talked about it in quite a bit of length in the previous podcast episode, so I'll put in a card for you so you can jump back there. But basically it's chunks of black and gray interspersed with rainbow colors. So it's got the whole Roy G. Biv going through in between the black and the gray. And yeah, I'm not going to re-explain the whole inspiration again. So jump back to the previous episode for that. But it's got a really pretty lace pattern that's going to block out and look even lovelier. I'm going to block it probably tomorrow. I wanted to video it for the VLOGMAS, and the weather today was just really gross, so the lighting was pretty awful. And this is tricky to get on camera or photograph because the contrast of like the black and then the really bright colors, and it's really big. It's about, I'm not sure what it is right now, but I think it's going to be about 75 inches when it's done. So it's got quite the wingspan. So it's going to look silly if I put it on now with a cowl, but you can wear it as a wrap, like over the shoulders, big long wrap situation. And you can also wear it, I should take the cowl off, but I'm not gonna. It'll be less bulky without a cowl on and after blocked and whatnot. But you can wear it like that, and then I'm planning on putting either tassels or fringe, I haven't quite decided yet, on the ends. So it would make a lovely, just like regular scarf as well, not layered with another scarf. But the ends, if you didn't see, have a nice chevron-y, can you see in the black? Yeah. A nice chevron-y detail to them. So once I throw tassels or fringe on the ends, I think it's gonna really just accentuate the chevron-y points of it. So this, like I said, is Meg's & Co. yarn. Let me fold it up kind of nicely. Sorry, I just totally threw that in front of the camera. Fold this up and I will show you the yarn labels. I actually kind of organized them this time. So the main colors are Cinderella, Meg's & Co. yarn, classic sock. So it is a fingering weight design. And the gray is called Cinderella. And the black is called Little Black Dress. And I talked about last time, but one of the things that really drew me to her as a dyer, I've been in contact with her before, and she's tested for me and made some of my patterns, and so she wasn't like a new to me dyer, but one of the things that really drew me to her for this design collaboration was the fact she had black indie dyed yarn, because I really wanted black, and that's hard to come by. So it's really awesome that she does straight up black along with all of these speckly, tonally fantastic other colors. And I believe, I don't know, I think some of these may have been seasonal colors, so I don't know if everything is available in her shop on the regular, but these minis are all regular colors that she dyes, so they're not like one of a kinds. So the red is called Apple Picking. Golden Afternoon is the yellow, right? Nope, the orange. Golden Afternoon is the orange. Sipping on Sunshine is the yellow. Where It Never Rains is the green. Shoreline is the blue. Sangria is the, what I'm calling indigo, the darker of the two purples. And the violet is Lilac Festival. So like I said, I believe you can get all of these colors from her on the regular. And I'm looking sideways still, guys, sorry. Yeah, the smaller rainbow colors are all 20 gram minis. So I designed this, the next couple of my designs are actually, that was a weird sentence, are going to be with minis in mind. Meg is going to be doing kits for both the testers and when the pattern releases. So I would highly recommend Meg's yarn, but if you happen to have an advent calendar that you're getting with minis, or you have a giant stash of minis, this is going to be a good one for that. So I haven't actually written up the pattern yet, but it is going to be completely written out, and it's going to be charted as well. The lace in it is very simple, but I'm going to chart it just for those visual people. And there might be a video tutorial as well. I usually do one of those. I'm in the early stages of the pattern still. It's very repetitive, so I just kind of wrote out the row numbers, and I have to actually write the step-by-step part of the pattern out and get some photos of this and block it. And Meg is working out her schedule when she's going to be able to do the kits, but the plan currently, hopefully maybe, is testing either towards the end of December or January and releasing in probably early February. But it is a fingering weight design, and it is pretty large. And I didn't want to do testing smack dab like during Christmas, because people already have enough on their plates. So we'll be talking about that more soon. Just stay tuned. Like I said, follow me on Instagram if you want more info on when patterns are coming. And also, I don't mention it here a lot, but I do have a newsletter as well that, now that I think about it, might not be linked below this video. I should add that. But if it's not and I forget to, you can find it through my Instagram bio. And I don't do anything spammy. I just basically send an update when there's either a really new and exciting video. I don't do it every week for the podcast. Or when there's a pattern release or a sale. So it's usually a couple times a month. But if you want to know when patterns are coming out, that is a good way to be notified. So a Hope in a Future wrap coming soon. But I really, really love it, and I can't wait to block it tomorrow and see how that lace looks, because obsessed. And I keep trying to pick like what my favorite color. I think I really like the gray and the orange. But then I'm like, ooh, the red and the black is like kind of fiery, and I really like how poppy that is. But then I'm like, ooh, I really like the purple and the, where's the purple? Where'd you go? I really like the dark purple and the black. I don't know. It's also good. The minis all looked kind of different because they're different colors, obviously. But some were more speckly and some were more tonal, and some, like the blue one was almost variegated. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if these are all going to come together. But then they did, and I'm so happy with it. And I've sent pictures to Meg and she's really excited too. So it's always fun to collaborate with someone and then actually have it turn out like you have it in your mind. So that's fun. So those are the designs that I'm working on for right now. The pullover is still in testing. I extended it up by a little bit just because people have had so much going on and life has been so weird and crazy. I bumped it a couple extra days. So hoping to have that out possibly before Christmas. And if not, it will be out by the end of December. So a pullover coming soon. I know I keep saying that every time, but it does take a long time to test a fingering weight pattern in all of the sizes. So that is coming and I am so excited. I need to do photos for that too. I have a lot on my December to-do list. I'm gonna get it done, guys. And vlog it all. All right. So those are the designs that I currently have. As far as other making, I feel like I haven't had a ton, but I was working on a fingering weight wrap and working on getting the 2 patterns released, or one through testing and the other released. And I had a lot of Christmas aspirations. I got quite a few Christmas gifts done, can't show them, but I think the only thing I really finished object since last time is some stockings. And they are big, but they're bulky weight, so I feel like maybe they're not a huge accomplishment, but I don't know, I still made stockings. So I made the winter braid stocking, that's right? Yes, winter braid stocking by Sheepish Stitches. And I believe it's a newer pattern this year. I'm pretty sure it was copyrighted 2019, so I think she recently came out with it. And I pretty much followed it to pattern, I think. I don't think I changed anything other than I bought the wrong yarn for the fuzzy part, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I don't remember what yarn she calls for in the pattern, but I used Color Made Easy because I had a bunch in stash. In the color, I never know how to say this one, Anthurium, is that right? In the focus? Nope. Anthurium. This is a acrylic, it's by Lion Brand, and I think you can get it at like Joanna. So I had a bunch of this and I have a bunch left. It's back there. So if I decide to make more family member stockings in the future, I have the option to do so. But I made 2 for my husband and I, or 1 for each of us. We don't need 2. Look at that pretty texture. Isn't it lovely? That red is looking wild on screen. I'll show you the side without the seam in it. Where's the seam? Where are you, seam? Oh yeah, they both go this way. So I made, those are not looking the same size on camera, but I'm pretty sure they are. These ones I made with the hook size suggestion and pattern. I don't remember what it is at the moment, but if you buy the pattern, that's the one I made. And then I made my daughter's in a slightly larger hook size, just to differentiate it and because she gets more presents because, you know, she's tiny and cute. I actually sewed the loop on this one on the wrong side, I think, because these ones go the other way. So I need to switch where I sewed the loop. But this one I went up a hook size. It's a little more open. It definitely made it larger. You can see the size difference there. Width-wise, it didn't go much bigger, but length-wise, it definitely grew. And this is my first time doing this braided like puff stitch. It took a little bit for me to get the hang of it. I think I restarted this part down here a couple times because I just wasn't counting it right. And I was ending up with double the amount that I was supposed to. But once I figured out where the stitches went, and she does have photos in the pattern, I think a video would be helpful. I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere on how to do this, but she does have photos, and once I got it, it was totally easy to do. My hands got pretty tired just from working with the bulky weight and a pretty tight gauge. I don't want to say the wrong hook size. I do not remember what it was. But I'm not used to working with bulky weight yarn at this point because I've been doing so much stuff in fingering, so my wrists were like, ugh. But I made each of them in like a day, so it was a very quick project. And they have a bit of stretch to them. I didn't block them or anything. I'm going to put presents in them. They don't probably need blocking. I'm waiting on command hooks to be back in stock. I ordered them, but they are out of stock, so I'm going to hang them over. It's weird because we have a fireplace. We don't have a mantle. We have like a frame around our fireplace because it used to be brick and then the family covered it with wood paneling and then just put like a frame around it's very strange. The wood paneling is coming down eventually, but I have a lot of wood paneling in my house. And rumor has it they paneled over 2 windows too. So yeah, my fireplace is weird. We don't use it a lot. It is functional, but it tends to be on the smoky side, just by the construction of the way the chimney and the flue is. So we don't use it a ton, but I am going to hang the stockings there. I mentioned last time we don't even do Santa, but I thought it would be fun to do tiny presents in a stocking. My husband and I will be married 9 years in May, and we've never done stockings. We've barely done presents, occasionally sometimes. But now that I have a daughter, I feel like we should probably do some presents. So we're doing some gifts this year to each other, and gifts for her. Lots of gifts. Only child problems. But we're doing dollhouse furniture because she has a dollhouse that we got from my grandmother, and sorry, this is a tangent. And we got some dollhouse furniture for her little, what are they called? Calico critters, little fuzzy, furry woodland friends. So they need a little home, so we got them some furniture. So I ordered little wood furniture pieces, so it's going to be fun to wrap up. I think there's 35 of them, and I'm going to wrap them all separately. So put a bunch of that tiny stuff in the stocking and some other, fun stocking-y things. Oh, I forgot to say what yarn this is. So I tried to order curbside pickup from Joann. Ordered online. It's supposed to be same-day pickup. I think I had just Googled Go for Faux Joann's, or just put Go for Faux in the Joann app or something. And this popped up, and I was like, oh, perfect, they have it in stock. Go pick it up, whatever. But I didn't realize I got the thick and quick version, which is like, you could like rappel off of buildings with this stuff. Oh my goodness, it is dense. So it is actually 2 strands of the normal one stuck together, like plied together, which is funny because I didn't realize you could ply faux fur yarn. Ooh, it's shedding. Ooh, okay. But yeah, this is massive. Real big. Don't rappel off buildings, but really, really thick. So I ended up having to decrease the stitches by half when I did the top because it was supposed to just be the regular Go for Faux, which is a 5, a bulky. There's a cat out there. There's always a cat out there. And this is a 7. I didn't even know 7 yarn could be purchased at your average craft store. It has 24 yards per skein. 24. That's all you get. So this one is the color, which one is which? This one is the color Husky. My daughter's I did different just so we could kind of tell it apart. And then my husband's and I are in the color, I just looked and then totally forgot, Mink. So yeah, if you're going to buy faux fur, buy the right kind, because that was really hard to work with, but it went super, super fast. So I think I just decreased the stitches by half and then did 1 less row because it was getting long. So those are my finished objects. I have stockings, a whole family of stockings, one that faces the wrong way, but we're going to fix it later. Look at that color. I look so festive right now. Look at me in all my festive stockings. So we're going to hang those up. I have no idea if the hooks are supposed to hold 2 pounds. But because I don't have a mantle, I have no other choice but to fasten them to the wall. Because normally you have like those little mantle hooks that are like weighted. So I have no idea if this is going to actually be able to hold presents once I wrap the presents and put them in there. I'm sorry, I'm just like obsessively petting this because it's so fuzzy. But they'll at least look pretty hanging. Stockings, guys. I feel accomplished. So that is all I have on the finished objects front. I mean, I guess that wrap was a finished object, sort of, mostly, but it's less than what I normally have. Now my pants are all covered in faux fur fuzzies. Well, alright, last time I had said that I was going to make the light right as rainbow cardigan for my daughter by Telly Bean Knits, and I had gotten the yarn and I had kind of had a backup plan on if that didn't work out, but it was a yoked, but then I realized it was from the bottom up, which never excites me. I wish I had realized that before I bought the pattern because I kind of hate bottom up, and the top had like a rainbow yoke, and I had gotten self-striping yarn and thought I could kind of make that work in the rainbow yoke, and then totally decided that that was a terrible idea. So instead, also by Telly Bean Knits, I cast on the worsted sock arms. So it's a pattern that is also from the bottom up, and it has inset sleeves that are worked in self-striping yarn. And I hadn't realized worsted self-striping yarn was a thing, but Knit Picks has some, and I think hers was designed in mustache yarn. My hair is being just voluminous. But when I realized Knit Picks had it, I was like, okay, I'll give that a try. It's what I had originally bought for the yoke of the other one. I'll talk about the yarn in a second, but I cast this on a couple days ago. It's gone pretty fast. I don't usually knit in worsted weight, so it went real fast. But I feel like when I knit in worsted weight, it just looks so sloppy. It'll block out, but I just feel like this just looks a mess. Maybe it's not showing on screen, but my tension changes, and it's worked from the bottom up. I had to do the ribbing several times because they always have you do the ribbing in like a way smaller size than, usually like 2 sizes at least smaller than the body. And I don't know how people normally knit ribbing looser, but I feel like my ribbing is excessively tighter. Anytime I'm purling, stuff gets way, way tighter. So I did it in like the called for difference in needle sizes, and it was like ballooning out because the bottom was so tight. And even now, the ribbing obviously will stretch and be blocked. But I had to redo that a couple times. The pattern has the option to do like a rounded hem. So you do the ribbing and then you split the front and back and kind of do some short rows. So I think the back would be more of a U shape. Somehow, even though you made the ribbing straight, that kind of baffled me, and I was like, this pattern has a lot of new skills in it for me. I kind of don't feel like learning that, and a straight bottom sweater is a-okay by me. So I didn't do the rounded hem part. So you knit up to the armpits, underarms. I always forget to say that like a proper person. Underarms, and then you split front and back, and my gauge always changes drastically when I'm doing stockinette in the round versus stockinette flat. Don't know if you can tell. That's a lot tighter. And then there was all these decreases to like slope the... I have a lot of ends, I'm sorry. Slope the arms in, and you're knitting front and back, and then I have to do inset sleeves, which terrifies me. I've never done that before. And then I had to pick up and do the collar, the neckline. And I thought it would be fun to pick up in one of the stripe colors from the rainbow arms that are going to be in it, but I kind of don't know if I like it. It does fit my daughter. It's going to block out a little larger. I think I kind of wanted it bigger than it is, but I made my gauge is never spot on, but I made the 4T with my gauge slightly smaller, so it's 3T-ish. But she wears a 3T, so that is perfect. I keep making 4T sweaters because my gauge is always smaller than what it ought to be. So I keep sizing up, but my 2-year-old does not wear a 4T. But yeah, I did it in this contrast color, and I kind of don't love it, and I don't even like the way the pickup looks, and I somehow, like this one here looks like it does in the pattern, but this one here, I either picked it up differently or the way that it slants is different or something. So I may try to top stitch over and make this match, or duplicate stitch or whatever it's called. Because the back looks good because it doesn't have the decreases, but it has these holes. I don't know. I don't like the way this came out. I don't know if I need to pick up with a smaller, even smaller size needle, or something. I don't know. So the collar I can go back and redo at the end, but I don't love it at the moment. But it does fit over her head, so the stitch count is okay, but I feel like I need to do it a little bit smaller and maybe not in the contrast. The other reason I did the contrast color is because I didn't want to break into another skein of the gray, because I had 2 left. So the yarn that I'm using is both from Knit Picks. The body is in Swish Worsted, which is 100% fine superwash merino, and this is the color Squirrel Heather. So I had bought 4 skeins of this because that's what I would have needed for the cardigan, but because the pullover is only the body of the sweater, I now have 2 skeins left, so I was kind of like, I could de-stash these if I don't break into the second one. And I kind of don't want to just break into it just to do a collar, but we'll see. And then this is the, where did I label that? Felici Worsted in a new colorway. And I said last time I didn't think they had it in the fingering weight version, but they do now. Felici Worsted weight in the color Cloudy with a Chance of Rainbows. And this one is Superwash in nylon 75/25. So I'm very excited to see how this works up. There's no yellow in it, which is weird. It goes red, orange, green, green, blue, purple. Where's the yellow? Why did I even buy this? It doesn't have yellow. The orange is like a brown. I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going to work up or how it's going to look, because obviously I think the sleeves have decreasing. The inset part, I don't know. I just don't know how the striping is going to work out. Because I feel like the cuffs are going to be narrower and the top's going to be wider, like at the armpit. So I feel like the stripes are going to look really not uniform like they would if you were doing a sock that only had, 64 stitches around the whole time. But we shall see. I am not in love with this. I wanted to be in love with it. I'm in love with the way her pattern looks and her pattern photos and the other samples, but I don't know. I feel like I just didn't execute it super well, and knitting worsted weight. You would think it would be easier, but I just feel like it always looks so sloppy when I do it. DK is like my max at this point. But I did a 3-needle bind off, and that doesn't look terrible. And what else did I do? I had to do some decreases on the purl side, slanting decreases I had never done before. There was a couple new techniques in there for me, but it's not a complicated pattern. I just need to block it and get the... Can you see the weird tiny? Yeah, look at this all. It's crazy. So stay tuned. This is supposed to be for Christmas. So hopefully it comes together and she gets some sort of sweater for Christmas. Not that she's lacking in sweaters, because she's not. And then, do I have another whip? I still have the skip socks, simple skip socks. I'll show you where I'm at just real quick, but I've talked about these lots and lots and lots. So we're this far on the second one. There has not been much sock knitting going on. Maybe a third of the way done. So if I get these done before Christmas, I will be happy. I always lose that third needle. Stay in there. Okay. So if I get that done before Christmas, I'll be real happy. The other thing that I had talked about making for my daughter were 2 of the Oak Folk dolls in the last episode as well. But now that I'm thinking about it, if she's getting the dollhouse furniture, and I think her one of her grandmothers is getting her more of the little furry creatures. They're like this big little chipmunks and bunnies, and she has owls, and obviously she has owls. More tiny creatures. I don't know that 2 dolls is going to be a super exciting gift for her if she has this brand new dollhouse full of brand new dollhouse furniture and tiny furry friends. I don't think 10-inch dolls are going to be as exciting because they will not fit in the dollhouse. So depending on where I'm at with the sweater, I may or may not make both of those. I may make one of them and then do like another one for Valentine's Day, or literally I can make them anytime. So I don't know. Stay tuned on that too, I guess. What did I do with the receipt? Okay. Alright, so we have come to the giveaway. I will show you real quick what the prize is. So we have a Notions pouch with a fun polka dotty lining and yellow zipper from Robin of Within Creative, who is a Connecticut maker. We have a collection of holographic stickers. This one's from Block 21 Prints. It says, "Be a Nice Human." I believe she has these in her shop that you can get in holographic and non-holographic form, and on shirts and on bags and on calendars and on all sorts of other things. So if you like the Be a Nice Human print, Sarah has lots of those. This I don't think you can get anywhere. Somebody had asked me on Instagram where to get this. It's from a local pottery art cafe. I actually won it in like a point system for having painted enough pottery. They were like, you get a free sticker. But it just went so well with the other 2 holographic stickers, I decided to throw it in. It says, "You Can't Quarantine Creativity," and it is from the Firestone CT. So that's also from Connecticut, obviously. The only thing not from Connecticut is this other holographic one from Treasure Goddess Yarns. She does have this in her shop as well, I believe, and I think I don't know if she has shirts. She has something else, keychains of this, and then she also does non-holographic ones. I have a regular white one with an orange ball of yarn on my laptop. So she's not from Connecticut, but it matched so very well with the prize package. And then a collection of stitch markers made by me out of hand-rolled paper beads that were made by my friend Johanna. She used to run a rolled paper rolled paper bead business. She's now doing some other crafty things, so she's not doing the paper beads anymore, so these are kind of one of a kinds. All of her beads were one of a kinds, because, you know, they're rolled paper. But if anybody's interested in these, I do have a couple more of not these exact ones, but a couple more Joha Designs paper bead stitch markers. So that is the giveaway prize package for the 1-year podcast anniversary. And I did draw a winner, and random number generator, both hands raised, I promise and swear to you. I use, it's like YouTube commentpicker.com or something, but you can like plug it in and it takes out all of my comments and any duplicate comments by anybody who's commented more than once and replied, and you plug in the URL and it pulls it up. It's really great for giveaways, actually. So if you have a podcast, that's awesome. I plugged in the comments and the winner is a rambling yarn. Emily. So Emily is my lifelong friend. And I've known her since first grade or so. And she is also my fiber artsiest friend. And she had asked me if she could enter giveaways. And I was like, yeah, totally. But I'd only ever let you win one. And then I'm cutting you off. Didn't think she was going to win. But totally, like, I screenshotted it and everything. She won. So I messaged her and I was like, do you feel weird about this? And she was like, do you feel weird about this? And we decided that it was fair and square. So she wins this prize package. She is originally from Connecticut as well, so I know a lot of this will be very meaningful to her. She's a military spouse, and a little piece of home will be nice. So I will be giving this off to Emily, sending it off probably with her Christmas gift. And yeah, hopefully you guys are okay with that too, but she is one of my biggest supporters and a loyal watcher of this podcast. Watcher, subscriber, viewer, that's the word. Emily is a viewer of this podcast. So fair and square, guys. Hey Jackie, what you need? The cat's yelling at me and JoJo's calling the cat. It's very entertaining. But yeah, I'm never letting her win again. So enjoy this one, eh? But thank you for everybody that did enter, and it was really fun to read all of your holiday projects and Christmas makes. And some of you are doing some big stuff. Like, there are a lot of you who were like, I'm making like 3 blankets. And I was like, God bless you. That's amazing. I'm only doing stuff for my daughter, husband, and then just a couple other people. I'm not making for everybody. And my daughter's tiny, so it's easy to make for. But yeah, some of you are doing very beautiful and amazing like heirloom projects for like nieces and stuff. Like, that's fantastic. I love that we're spreading the fiber artsy love around, and that you have that many people that appreciate what you do, and that's really awesome. So I hope all those gifts are going to get loved and appreciated for years and keep people cozy. So thank you for sharing those with me. Keep popping in and sharing how you're doing on your projects and your makes, and I'd love to hear from you on the Vlogmas videos as well, what like some of your traditions are as I'm posting mine. I really enjoy our traditions for the Christmas season, and we're kind of trying to build our own as a family, because my husband and I both have like separate, I was going to say separate lifestyles. We came from separate, okay, this is just getting weird. We came from separate families. Yes, my husband and I came from separate families, and that's why we are married. Oof. What am I trying to say? I want to say different backgrounds, like we're like 2 different families and they're different. So it's been fun to kind of figure out what our traditions are going to be and how we're going to do Christmas, and especially now that we have a kid, because it didn't so much matter when it was just him and I, but now that we have a baby or a 2-year-old who kind of knows what's going on, just figuring out how we're going to celebrate has been exciting and fun. So we're starting like all of our little Advent stuff tomorrow, and really excited about that. So the only other thing that I wanted to share with you today is kind of in line with that. Today is Cyber Monday technically, so tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. By the time you guys are seeing it, it will be Friday. just Friday. I was trying to think, I'll have to look it up if anybody knows the answer, because it's like Thanksgiving for the US. It starts Thanksgiving, Black Friday, We do Small Business Saturday. Now there's Artist Sunday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. Is there anything for Wednesday? Or does Wednesday just like get left out of this whole week-long festivity of spending and giving? If not, we should come up with something. But I just wanted to share this with you. This is they call it a gift catalog, but it is by an organization called Impact Nations. And it is I think an organization would be the best way to describe it, a ministry, a outreach program that we have been giving to for years. We've met the people who run it. I haven't personally gone to any of their outreaches or like mission projects, but I know many people who have, and these are very reputable people, and where the money says it's going is where the money goes. I know that this time of year there's a lot of stuff that pops up like give here, give here, give here. And I like to know that where the money's going and what the money's doing, and if like it's actually going to people or if it's going to like 95% to like some CEO of some company. So I think it's really important, if you are going to be giving places, that it is somewhere that is reputable and full of integrity and honesty. So Impact Nations is a great one. We do stuff with them year round, but they send out a Christmas, they call it a gift catalog, and it's basically buying gifts for other people in other parts of the world, kind of like if you're familiar with like a World Vision type of idea. So they have all sorts of outreaches worldwide, but something that I like to do is they have a couple of programs where they are training either this one isn't specifically for women. They have some that are specifically for women, training them in business and often taken off the streets out of prostitution. They bring them to a safe house for a couple of months, and they work them through a business school and help them their feet and get out of a life of prostitution and violence, which I just think is beautiful. And if you go on the website, there's so many beautiful stories of lives that have been rescued and changed, and amazing things that these women are doing personally and financially at this point. So they have different tiers of different things you can give, but one that I always like to do some business related one through my business for Christmas, because I just think it's really awesome to be able to give back what has been given to me into somebody else's business. So for $125, you can provide 3 months in a safe house where a woman will receive counseling and business training. So that is fantastic. And there's like a little story in there of personal lives that have been changed. And then they also have a skills and business training program. The story in here is, I think, in Uganda, but I believe they have several different outreaches. And if you go on the website, you can pick very specifically which one of these things you want to do and get some more information on them. But for $100, you can do a startup loan to help make a business idea become a reality and change your life forever. For $150, you can provide in-person 40 hours of business coaching, and for $250, you can buy business training and a loan to help somebody become self-sufficient. So I haven't decided which one of those I'm going to do. Probably the 3 months transformation for a life being rescued out of prostitution. But they have other things in here, like buy our water filter, or in the past we've done, you can do different tiers of prenatal care and vitamins and delivery for pregnant women and babies, and stuff like mosquito netting is really cheap, and there's like for $25 you can provide 100 meals for someone. Water filters, mosquito netting, medicine, anti-parasite medicine, prenatal vitamins, and like some things in here are like $5, you can buy 20 meals. And then there's some things that are like $600 that is to care for a woman, complete prenatal care, delivery, and postnatal care for a pregnant woman and child. So there's definitely tiers, and I just wanted to share that. Whether or not you have a business, giving is always awesome, but I feel like I call myself a maker mama boss lady, and I think it's really awesome to be able to sew into another woman's dreams and potential, and just, yeah, be a part of that. I think is really awesome. So impactnations.com, I will link that for you if you are interested. So that brings us to the end of episode 23, guys. stay tuned for vlogs, Vlogmases. And yeah, hopefully I will catch you at least once more before Christmas. If not, Merry Christmas, and definitely before New Year. But happy we almost made it through 2020. How about that? Yeah, 2021, it's coming. Crazy face. Thank you for putting up for me. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I hope to catch you in the next episode and in some of the vlogs, and stay tuned for all of the various pattern releases that are coming soon. Thank you guys. Thanks for being my people, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.